Hello everybody and welcome back to the Something Else Macintosh. This is a PowerMac G5 2.7 and dual core, dual processor, so 4 CPUs, liquid cooled with a wonderful acidic xylene coolant that these things are infamous for leaking. And I bought this off eBay for 263 American monies. Holy crap.
Lord, that's a lot of money for beer.
It's okay. I've always wanted one. So I said, hell with it. Fired up the old PayPal credit where everything else lives anyway. And bought it. The owner said, hey, thanks for buying this, blah, blah, blah. It's been mine. No, it doesn't leak. Everything's cool. I said, please be careful in shipping this. It's got the liquid. He's like, I know. I'm going to double box it. And I'm going to send it. I said, please use UPS. FedEx sucks. So it was shipped with FedEx. And when it arrived, the door on the side was smashed off and laying like this. The plastic glass thing was popped out. Can you tell what's wrong with this? Now I've beat it with a hammer to get it back in. So it was drop kicked from probably 15 feet. The box was smashed. An insurance claim has been filed. And it literally bent this down to the point where it is exposing the screw underneath that it's supposed to be in. This is supposed to be down. This is supposed to be up. And it's supposed to look like this one. Well, that's a little bent too. This has got more waves in it than a Sunday beach trip. The super drive has been smashed down. There's a big bow here that you might not be able to see, but it's there from the drop kick. And I don't know if it works. It's got a USB 2 card in it, 9550 Radeon, dual DVI. It's all factory, 2.7 liquid cooled. Check it out here. There you go. So 2.7, 512 mega RAM, 250 gig hard drive. 90 something 50. Camera sucks. Sorry. Now there's some differences between this, my other 2.0, the 2.3 now on the 1155 PCI Express model. This is the PCI Extended or the 64-bit PCI with the AGP graphics slot. It does have the airport card in it, and I was going to put one in there anyway. It's got 6 of the 8 slots of RAM filled, probably 2 gigs. The lid won't go on because this is so messed up. Now, this was hanging out so bad, I did smack it with a dead blow hammer. It's like a little maraca you can hit softly, and it's like getting hit in the face by a big dude. For those of you who don't know, this is, you'll see these 3 plastic tabs here. This one, but this one has some white over top of it. Well, that is for a photo cell that's in here. If this is not detected, the fans go to a turbo state CPU because you've messed up the ventilation channel. This is my favorite era of Apple, and I've always wanted to own this machine. People hate this machine because it runs hot and it leaks and your mom, but it's okay because this one is mine and that's what I wanted. The goal for this was to remove the heat sinks and the CPUs with my specially ground sideways regular screwdriver, remove the CPUs entirely, take the water blocks off, drain the xylene-ish acidic type bad stuff cooler, replace the hoses, O-rings, anything that I can, and put modern clear tubes on with the propylene glycol coolant that all the young kids are running in their rigs today. That way, if it leaked, it would just leak propylene glycol into the power supply and not splatter that bad crap all over the motherboard and destroy it. I just went to the old Lowe's Home Improvement Center and purchased 2 of these Jorgensen Easy Holds, where you kind of clamp crap together and you squeeze it and it goes back, and there it is. For the finishing touch, we're going to use the old redneck adhesive. JB Weld. Nothing else says I want to redneck some stuff up like JB Weld. You can fix an engine block, a boat, a gas tank, pretty much anything duct tape can fix. this can fix better. That's the game plan. I don't know if it's going to work. We're barely on the table, but we're over the metal leg. And we're going to press the button. Oh, that's loud. Watch. See that thing? That photocell. Alright, let's see what happens. I hear a hard drive. I have an Apple logo and I see a display. Yes! Look at the color differences in these two monitors. That one's got to warm up. This one's got to warm up. A little bit of dust in front of the fan. Fans are rotating fine. Your computer's clock is, I took the battery out, so that's fine. Which keyboard do you have? Dual 2.7s. Hell yeah, PowerPC G5. PowerMac G5 7.3, PowerPC G5 3.1, 2.7 Giga Monsters, 512K L2 cache, 2.5 gigs of memory, 1.35 gigahertz bus speed memory. 6 of the 8 are 512 or 4 512s, 2 256s, PC 3200. So we have dual displays. The 2.7's working. It's not cranking up, but I'm not doing anything. Oh, we got some Leanne Womack, Pantera, and Van Halen. Cowboys from Hell. At least I bought this from the right person. Hey, welcome to Saturday. It's about 11 o'clock. Overnight, I beat the crap out of this with this hammer and clamped it, and I've just been letting it sit. And this is with it closed, so the lid closed. It just doesn't fit in here. I have to like lift up, so at least half of it is okay. So it's like 8 hours later, and this has been clamped all day. It's not going to work. I went to Micro Center, got some supplies, extra lungs, some Corsair XTM50 thermal paste, super chilled Accelate performance coolant purple, and some clear 10 mil tubing, which is 3/8 inside diameter, 1/2 inch outside diameter, or 10-13, which is the standard hose size still to this day, which is great. I ordered some aerospace gaskets or O-rings, $26.45. Yeah, $10 to ship some O-rings. Viton is the brand. I'm going to save this photo. They're the ones that were recommended from accelerateyourmac.com. There was a post on that website right there about the tools and how to take it apart and clean the things and what to look for. Crystallization. I can't see the bottom one. The top one, there's no leaks. There we go. I'll be able to grab it now. There's a radiator cap over here. Looks like a pressurized Freon thing. I want to undo it. That's your fill. This is a set of long Allen wrenches. They're not going to be long enough to get in there. So I took a super long regular screwdriver and ground its tip in half. That allows me to get right in here and undo these things. This will pull both CPUs out at once because it's one water block. Another glue Loctite. You see how it just fits in here? Like on an angle, and it just works. Doesn't damage the Allen head on the screw or nothing like that. There's a plug right here you gotta undo. There you go. No, I was looking through here when I was looking for the crystallization. So there you go. 127 liquid cooled. Now I could undo these screws here and separate the CPU. Thermal paste goes on the block on the bottom side, and then that's why I got the thermal paste. The pump looks great. The housing looks great. March 25th, 2005 it says for this date of birth. Keep all your screws together because you're going to lose them. Take the 6 Delrin screws out around the CPU here. I know these are metric, but I'm using 3/32 of an inch. These two brackets come off and these separate. And now I have 2 separate heat shields for the CPU where we can wiggle this out. That sticks on the Delrin peg, so be careful. And this will show our water block, and we do have leakage. So there's where our thermal paste goes. There's your G5. And this is why we want to replace the O-rings. This is your crystals. So we have a very slight leakage in here. We saved it. It didn't get on anything. I'm going to clean these anyway. So that's why I wanted to tear in here. The processor itself doesn't look to have any issues, but we're going to alcohol it anyway. So this is your thermal paste. Then I got new thermal paste. Underneath here is an O-ring. I don't want to take this off yet. I'm going to get the other CPU out. But I mean, not bad. Not bad at all. I've seen way worse where the entire bottom of the power supply of the Mac is totally covered with crap. Delrin dudes wiggle so slightly. Bottom one's okay. There's the bottom CPU. Alright. And here's the bottom one. The bottom one you can see has a very slight tinge right here. And the factory marks of tightening the screws are all in place. Little bit of leakage right here and some discoloration on the bottom. That's that. Make sure you got everything on your desk in the way. Let's pop the top. She's still full to the rim. There's your gasket, and there's the failure point. Look at that. You can see the crystallization. Should I be touching this? No, but I am. Copper block. Looks intact. Cooler is very full. Wonder if I could fill the new one this way. Fill them from the bottom. So here's your O-ring. You can see it's crystallized and formed crap. It was still sealing, but yeah. So she's going to need an alcohol bath. The O-ring should actually be in the channel itself. Let me neutralize this. That's where I'm at right now. I need to take this somewhere and drain it properly. Make sure you get the key lined up, 4 screws. We're just closing it up for now for my safety. It's another day and I'm cleaning these processors. Cleaned them all up and we're good to go for I don't know. Just going to take this all apart and hose it out with the contact cleaner in a can. But then I didn't feel like it, so I did a blanket of drip tray off. It's still dry in here. You can see this dry. So I took this mofo all apart. Look at that. You can, hell yeah. All apart, took the water blocks out, pumped, the whole nine, cleaned it all out. I did find some ice crystals in there, in the crossover pipe. And one of the small tubes and the rubber hoses were harder than Peter North. So the plastic water blocks with the O-rings that go inside. I cleaned up the leaky dudes with some emery board. You can see now where the brass, I scrubbed the living crap out of it. The brass on that, not the center ring, like around the ring you'll see some brass or copper, whatever it's made of, coming through. Copper heat sink or diversion collectible heat pipey water block. It's keyed, so this little piece goes in here and there's a little nub on the end, so it only goes in one way. I'll give Apple that. They engineered the living crap out of this thing. And I have this really cool super chilled Hydro X Series Exhalate purple, super chilled, bro. Yeah. Tonight's interrupter is brought to us by Mr. Kevin Q, who got a cellular internet backup that looks like that. I have other repairs I have to get to, and this thing has clogged my bench up for weeks waiting on parts. Diagram of flow. This sits on its side. This is the upper side. Okay, this will be facing you. This is where the G5 cover is. So, water comes out of here, into the radiator, across the radiator, down this crazy pipe into inlet 1 of the water block, out of the water block, into the inlet 2 of the other CPU, out and into the return suction. Fat guy back, 5 days later. I got these O-rings in from the O-Ring Store, LLC, ORingstore.com. These are part number V75027-MS. I'll put it on the screen, you can pause it if it's clear. If not, I'll read it anyway. 1 5/16 inside diameter, 1 7/16 outside diameter times 1/16 CS. It is a AMS military spec fluorocarbon AS3209 series mil spec O-ring.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
And I got 25 of them because I only need 2. And they look thinner to me. Should I just reuse these? I'm gonna see how they fit. So I went on this repair overhaul from accelerateyourmac.com. There was a big article on it where they listed the O-rings. O-rings, industrial supply 2 required. I bought a 50 Viton O-rings, Viton AS568 Alpha. Is that what they sent me? They better. AS568 Alpha, yeah, 027. That's the, yeah, mine fit if I stick them on here. That's great. They don't go in there. So that's wonderful. $25 in O-rings down the shitter. They're a little bit too large. So these are not the O-rings. Do not buy these O-rings. These go in the channel just fine. So now I have 25 O-rings that I'll never use in my life. Reverse osmosis filtered water into a squeeze bottle where you'd squirt ketchup. I use this for sour cream for burritos. I got a ring to go on. I froze the crap out of it, put the lid on in there, and just fired her down. I'm going to fill this up with just a little bit of water, just what's in here. If it fills it up, great. If not, don't care either. So it's just a tube. You can see the water going in. We're just going to check for leaks. If it leaks here, I don't care. Just let her gurgle in. She's filling up the tube on the side. Get into the pump. We'll start to see it come up here in a second. Just gurgling slowly. She's just gurgling. Gurgle, gurgle. We can't really tell because of the it's water, but you can see the pump starting to fill. And we got leaks. So that'll be O-ring. So the new O-rings don't seal. Yeah, it was elevated right here. Popped right out. So, see, this O-ring fits in the valley in the originals. The new one's just, but being cleaned, xylene free, just water. The O-rings are okay enough, I guess. I need to get new ones, but I don't know. I'll have to do some more research for specs. My clamps are holding, even though they're kind of loosey. Once the pump gets pressure, I'm sure it's going to blow all of them off, and I'll have to do hose clamps. I was just trying to be cheap, so I'm going to have to change all the clamps. These are just too loose. I must have not had the key correct one time I put them on, and it bent it a little bit. So I got out my little tiny hammer here with the alien head on it, or the sunglasses guy, put 2 pair of glasses on myself, and gave it the old Shawshank tap. And then I proceeded to blow in it, and it sounds different. It doesn't sound leaky. Listen. It's just me blowing air in it. So I'm going to fill it up again. Just, I don't know. I know you're an idiot. Yeah, this top leaks too, so that's also great. Alright. Purple, purple, purple. I don't know if you can see that. Can't really, Oop, I just shot stuff on my foot. I'm going to try to rotate this bucket here a little bit. Just to get the air bubbles going here. This is a hell of a way to fill a unit. Oh, it's like milking a cow. I'm starting to see color in the center tube. A little bit. I'm making a mess, but you know, that's what it's about. Alright, so I got the purple lube in there. I could let it sit like this and be done, but I'm spilling it everywhere. Trying to just, this is extra hose. It's just for me to fill it with. There's an air bubble right there I gotta get out. 45 minutes later, 3 sips and another half bottle full. Hi, 9:38 p.m. Friday. Fans on because I'm got the meat sweats or something. I'm hot. Plumbing's done. I went to Lowe's. I bought some 5/16 or 6mm to 15.9mm clamps. I'll show you what I do. I unscrew these until I can pull the piece out, and then I simply put it around the tube, put it back in, tighten it up by hand because it slips out all the time. Once you get it started, you're good. There we go. And I kind of give it a couple tightens, drop the tool 3 or 4 times, and then once it's in the general area, I'll put it over the piece and just tighten it up. I bought some waterproof grease to grease the O-rings right to the rim. That's cool. Good. I got all the air bubbles out. Took me forever. I'm going to pull this ring out carefully, and I'm going to put this waterproof grease in her crack. It's Vaseline in this channel. Filling this channel up. There. See how I got it in that crack? Then I'm going to squirt some on my finger, and I'm going to rub the O-ring with it. Oh yeah. Makes it kind of sticky. Very sticky. So this is not like Vaseline at all. It's super sticky. And we'll lay that in there. And man, that's sticky. This is almost like a glue. Now I found out that this piece was a little crooked as a politician. Hence why I kind of hammered the top of it a little bit. It's like changing a tire, cross threads. I'll go across and then across again. Alright. See a little bit of grease squishing out, that's good. Alright. That's one. I will have a little puddle right here beneath me because I set the thing on it right there. Alright. Well, I got a new bubble in there. Great. Alright, got the bubbles to come up to this side. I'm going to take this side off. There was a little bit of grease left on these O-rings. Just laying it on thick. And I'm going to top this off to the tip. To the very, very tip. There, she is. Right to the rim. So with all the screws tight, lubricated with the waterproof grease, a little bit of spillage topped off the air bubble. I hope. It'll probably pop right up right here. There it is. How can I not get the air bubble? It was like right there. I need to do a leak test where I replace my paper towel because I did spill a little bit of liquid when I put the caps down. Okay. I DuPont wired some connectors up. We're going to run it. There's going to be bubbles in there. We're going to see what the hell happens. Here we go. I got it at 11.8 volts. And here we go. She's running. The bubbles are fine. Output, input. It's chunking along. A little bit of bubbles, not too many. Got one little chunker in there. We'll consider those friction. Hi, it is 2:11 a.m. Almost 2:12 a.m. This has been running for, I don't know, 5 hours. Finally got all the bubbles out of it. Filled up the juice bottle again with some fresh stuff, so she's a little deeper hue of purple. And I ended up using the Schrader valve, pushing it in to burp some air. I kept taking the plates off. I would get a bubble in here, and I would flip it, wiggle it, do the dance. There's still a bubble in there somewhere, but it's chopped them up so fine, it doesn't hurt it. But the caps aren't leaking. The waterproof grease, all the new hoses, all the King's Men, put this pump together again. Hey, 7:18 p.m. the next day. I look like death because I didn't get a lot of sleep. And I just got done cutting the grass, so that takes a lot out of me. My old ass. Anyway, I turned this on this morning and forgot about it. So I guess that's a good thing. 11 volts, 0.68-ish amps, 7.5 watts. I can turn it up, but I just left it on. It's been running all day. It's no leaks. No leaks. That's cool. I do have a couple purple stains where I was getting air bubbles out and did something. So apparently this is good. It's been a week. So it's set for 12 volts. So we just turn it on here. You see it has that one air bubble. It just chops it up and then it's quiet. I mean, I can hear it. It's circulating. It looks fine. Everything's staying soft. I can feel the pressure. It's not a lot. 4 or 5 psi, if that, maybe. You water cooler guys will let me know. And this is ready. You know, that one bubble gets chopped up into micro bubbles, and then it's just fine. It's quiet. Once the fans and everything are rolling, it will be totally fine. Alright, so it's time for processor reassembly. And I wrote on these before I totally took them out. I wrote valve side and not valve side. So this one says not valve side. A little bit torqued. It does have the normal ammonia gas whatever heat sink here. One big bubble of dirt that will squish into this when I squish it in. If it doesn't, I don't care. Hose clamp is kind of in the way, but that's one. I can see that it is touched and it is gooped out, which is great. That's what I want. The water block has made contact with the thing. I got a little string of thermal paste here I'm going to have to clean up or I'll look like the Tin Man. Alright, that is way too much. It's perfect. Don't care. We're not putting that little thing on. You see I wrote valve side on the piece. 4 more screws. Oh my god. Oh my god. And that is your completed CPU. Water cooled for shizzle. This Mac came from a smoker household. There's this tar stuff on here that you just can't break through. It's like bubble gum. You gotta scrub the crap out of it. This is where a plastic cover was, and I've been scrubbing on this crap forever. This doesn't come out. I'm gonna have to polish this with car polish and a buffer or something. Power supply looks great though. No leaks. I'm fixing that by washing it with a light, crusty, non-crusty sponge and dog hair. Man, the dog hair just helps get the crap out. See that? Was I sanded the crap out of it. Probably took all of its coating material off. Don't care. It looks a lot better than it did. So this has to slide back in here like so. The case is bent, remember, so I have a little bit of tough time with it. There are 2 screws you got to put in. Or get this out of the way enough to hook up the pump. Here we go. Carefully put it on the guide pins and push down. Take your special screwdriver, which is a regular screwdriver that I ground in half to fit these long suckers. You can get a couple of them in started, but the ones that are in there, like in the center of the processor, you gotta stick this on and shove it down in there. Alright, you can't see this, but there's these Loctite super screws that I'm going to drop They go in the water block itself. One here in the corner. There's two in the middle.
Shit.
Come on, magnetic screwdriver, pick it up. Sorry, I got the fan on because my butt is just hot. Quarter of time, don't care about this Mac. Dual 2.7. There we go, finally. A little bit of touch there. Number of CPUs. 2. But it's all back together. 2.7. Now, let's hit the old dashboard here for iStat Pro. I don't have anything currently with my temperatures, and 53 and 54, so they're within 1 degree of each other, which is pretty daggone good. X-Bench, yep, math, science. Let's hit start again. Trying to generate some heat there. There we go, doing thread test, memory test, stream test. We're really rolling it. And it's done. 62 CPU, 62 Fahrenheit, Celsius, communist, whatever. Still not bad. I mean, that is not bad at all. 133 Fahrenheit. That's pretty damn hot, but it's not. It's really not. Barely any heat coming out of the back of here. Fans are idle. That's like cool temperature for this thing. Alright, my next step for this is going to be to put a solid state drive in it. I gotta go dig one up that's going to be compliant with, we'll see. So in this monstrosity, in this wild hairdo, we have managed to liquid cool with the proper propylene glycol accelerate purple. I know you can't see it, but I know it's done. And I can always look at this bottle if I'm thinking about it. Knowing it's in there, knowing it's keeping cool, 130 degrees Fahrenheit. 50C. Not bad when it was super hot before and clogged. Radiators clean, pumps clean, all brand new hoses, brand new clamps. Water block is not leaking. Water, tried O-rings, but ended up water greasing the other ones and giving her a little tap, 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 tighten her grip up a little bit. Good to go. I'm going to in the future put a solid state drive in this and give it a more deep cleaning that it needs. At least the bottom looks good. Power supply tray looks good. She has a factory dual 2.7. Did have some case damage. Still has a little bit here. I JB welded it. It's a little bit better than it was. The lid will fit on here now with a small bit of persuasion. Give her the technical tap, and then you can, you know, stick it back on its feet. It was totally damaged and really screwed up. Beat up a little bit. She's got some JB weld on her. I got to do some more, but I was worried about the clamps. I just left them on there for like a week and a half to bend this back, and it's okay. I got to take off some JB weld. It's going to be some sanding involved and some polish, but a factory 2.7 has been saved. It's not an Amiga, but this model Mac is important to me too. I love this era of Mac. It was I think the Amiga 3000 of the Macintosh, the most engineered and designed, and just a really outstanding job if you take it for what it is. It is not the fastest machine on earth, but at one time it was. Thank you guys for coming along on this journey. I hope this finds interesting. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?